The Amazing Race, season 35, episode 2. Oh my gosh. So the cute Asian couple that work together are the ones who won the last leg on the first episode, because I couldn't remember who won. And I think I had said about them that that seems problematic to work together because it's very stressful to have to work and live together and be a married couple. But also that maybe that they would be good at communicating under stress together because they're accustomed to doing it. So that worked out. And uh, this isn't a recap. So this is just a discussion. I mean, well, monologue, I guess. But spoiler alert, they won again. Very helpful that he kind of spoke the same language, so that they could do that market shopping. Um, which they breezed right through. And she was so cute. She was like, "How do you say? How do you say?" And she just kept trying to speak the language. Um, so that's fun that they've won 2 in a row. I don't know that I love that when they win that the show gives them cash prizes. I like that they give them trips. Um, but whatever, I guess Travelocity just doesn't have the money to give anymore. Spent too much on the gnome. Can't afford to give away free trips. But anyway, and $2,000 doesn't seem like a lot. Like those trips were kind of, but again, they were donated trips, blah blah blah, sponsors. So I don't know. So they get $4,000 for knowing how to run under an elephant 3 times and buy some stuff in a market in a language that one of them already knows how to speak. Which is convenient. I always wonder, like, I don't know the order of how they're and who knows what about when they're figuring out what all the tasks are and where they're going to go and what they're going to do and how that relates to casting and whether or not anybody's going to get an advantage. And I don't know whether or not they cross-check that stuff or not, but I said or not twice. But I always find it interesting when somebody's like, "I used to live here," or it's like, well, that's kind of unfair, but also kind of random and fair. But is it random? I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I have questions. Anyway, so that was super cute. Um, Again, 90 minutes. It's hard to recall how it started and what we were doing. What was the first challenge and what did they have to do? Oh, the things with they had to go and get the lotus flowers. I don't know what's wrong with people. It's very clear when you have to do a thing. It's like, here's the example. Now you do it. It has to be exactly like the example. So don't just throw a bunch of crap in there it's a row of 2 and a row of 3 and a row of 2 or whatever, however many it was. Maybe it was 3 and 4 and 3. Maybe that was right because I would think it was 10 of them, right? 3, 6, 10. Yeah, 3, 4, and 3. Pay attention to the details. But anyway, they got through it. I still don't like that big, tall, hulking husband of a guy who just kind of seems to treat his wife like property, even though he says things about he wants her, to have more confidence. I don't think he actually provides that kind of feedback to her on a regular basis, and that kind of he doesn't. I don't feel like he's building her up on a daily basis. I don't know why I don't like that guy. I just don't. The facial hair guys continue to be a hoot. The 2 black brothers who are working tech. Now, I'm getting a gay vibe out of them, but I can't tell which one of them, or maybe both, or maybe neither. They're both very cute, and they're both very smart, and they're both very fit, and they're doing quite well. But I can't. I'm having questions. But they're interested questions, as opposed to the 2 brothers who are ex-military guys, one with long hair and one with less long hair, one has a regular name and one is Jeremy but with a Y. Um, I, I still think they're well. There's it. It's a lot to watch that. But the dad, the son and his deaf dad are so cute, so cute. And they're doing so well. But they were the only ones who said Pomelos. Everyone else called them Palmelos. But the well, only one of them, the son, kept calling them Pomelos. I don't think that's how it's pronounced. I didn't look it up, but uh, uh, and I did love it was, I think, the two black brothers who were like, well, you got to get 100 of these. That's 1/100th. And literally like turned a corner and we're like, oh, we're fine. Let's change detours. Let's do a different thing. And then it was like, oh, there's a million of them right there. That did seem like a fun task, unless you overloaded your boat and drowned yourself. Oh, good times. But yeah, I mean, so far, like, no major fuck ups happening. It's the mom and daughter that got eliminated, they fought a lot, and then at the end of it, when it's all over, they're like, oh, I love her so much, she's just like me, and it makes me so mad that I can't yell at her because she's just like me, but you yelled at her the whole time. And like they were always like at each other, but then and when at the end when they lost, they're like, oh, this is so great. It's like, it didn't seem great. It seemed like you were just screaming at each other the whole time. I don't I'm not into the yelling at each other. Like, I don't want to do something high stress with somebody who can't handle stress. I'd rather do it myself. Which, that's not the point of this game. Like, the whole point is that you're supposed to do it with somebody else, and part of dealing with the high stress is dealing with each other in a high stress situation. But I just like, unless you deal with a high stress situation calmly and with the first eye to, how do we fix this? How do we solve this problem? And keeping all the other things in mind, you need somebody who's got some chill. If you've got no chill and you're going to be screaming, or you're going to be like too excited or too mad or too upset or too down on yourself or too cocky, like let's get rid of all of that extreme, and like, let's focus on what you need to do, get it done, figure out how you're going to get around whatever hurdles that come in front of you, and how best to do it together without yelling at each other. I don't like the yelling. So, that's cute that they thought they had a great time, but it didn't look all that great to me. And then, next week looks like a proper shit show. So, like, that's when the show actually begins. Wait, how do I stop this?